Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So today I'm going over the updated election results out of the state of California. Yesterday I did a live stream, which I believe ended right around, I want to say it was like 6 p.m. Eastern time. And within like 2 hours of ending the live stream, the results from yesterday started to come in. So obviously this video is coming out today at 3 p.m. I don't believe we're going to have any more vote updates before this video comes out today. So I do believe these are the most updated numbers we currently have in both the California governor's race and the Los Angeles mayor's race as well. So I want to give you the updated numbers now. Let's take a look at where things currently stand. First, we'll go to the Decision Desk HQ website where we have the updated numbers across the entire state. And then on the Vote Hub website, they have provided some analysis for some of the votes that came in today, how they did, and some key things to watch for in the election results going forward. So first things first. I'm currently recording the video 11:23 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, June 5th. Approximately now 69% of the vote is in the state of California. Now, I believe when I started earlier in the live stream, it was at like 60%. So I was expecting a slow amount of votes to come in. I was expecting like 5%, but we got 9% of the votes, so a very sizable chunk has come in. And some changes in this race, because there have been some pretty significant changes. We already knew Javier Becerra was declared one of the winners in the race to go to the general election, but officially he has taken the lead from Republican Steve Hilton. Becerra is now at 26.78%. Steve Hilton is at 26.35%. Tom Steyer, the Democrat, is in third place at 21.05%. The overall numbers, Hilton is now at 1,703,000. Tom Steyer is at 1,360,000. In terms of the overall votes, I believe it was Hilton was leading over Steyer by about 400,000 votes, and now it's a lead of roughly about 360,000 or so votes. So even though Hilton continues to have a strong lead over Steyer, Steyer did cut down those margins by about 40,000 votes, which is good news for Steyer. But there's also some areas where Steyer didn't do as well as he likely needed to, which makes things, we're going to see in perspective here, why things have moved in a direction where it seems Hilton is more likely than not going to win as of today if nothing else changes based on these results. So first things first, let's take a look at the market odds side of things. So I thought this was very interesting. Right now, the odds to win the primary and advance to the general, Javier Becerra is at 100%. We know he's in. Steve Hilton is now back up at the top at 92% to win. Tom Steyer is down at 9%. That is on Polymarket. On Kalshi is very similar. 90% for Hilton to win. Tom Steyer down at 10%. Now, this is very significant, and I'll show you why. Because earlier today, when we were recording the live stream here, right around, say, 6 p.m., Becerra was at 99%. That hasn't changed. But Hilton was only at 65%. Steyer was at 38%. As the results that were coming in, they're looking very optimistic for Steyer up until that point, the amount of vote left outstanding. As some of the results came in, some of them were good for Steyer, some of them weren't. Some of them were missing the mark for where he needed to be to get into the top two. He's still in this race. It's still undecided. But you can see the odds here have clearly dipped, and it's in Hilton's favor to advance for the general. Vote Hub has a good list of these on their website here. One of them came out of San Joaquin County, a vote drop from today, and it showed Becerra getting another about 9,700 votes, Hilton another 9,000 votes nearly, Steyer another about near 6,000 votes. So even though Becerra went up 7.5, Steyer went up 3.4, and Hilton went down 4.2, these numbers aren't exactly that 15% net threshold that Steyer needs to catch up to Hilton across a lot of the places in the state. Shasta County as well, small amount of votes, a few thousand votes here or there, a 1.5% boost for Steyer, and a 2.4% net loss for Hilton. Now, one area that did have a very good drop for Steyer was San Diego, where Javier Becerra got another 6.8%, about 22,000 votes. Steyer got 19,155, a plus 8.5%. Hilton got 17,800 votes or so, getting about 24.7%, a net loss overall of about 8.2%. So that's about, if you combine the two, roughly about a 16.7% boost for Steyer. That would be considered a very big get for him. As the analysis from one of the Vote Hub, I believe people, Alice Bates puts it, saying great drop for Steyer in San Diego, netting a 17-point gain over Hilton. Despite weaker performance in Southern California overall, he is holding up in urban counties like Los Angeles and San Diego. And Los Angeles had a very big vote report as well. I want to make sure, see if it's on here. I don't know if it's on the main page anymore, but Los Angeles had a very big vote drop as well, and it has some very significance for the Los Angeles Mayor's race as well. Let me see if I can find here. It might be under the analysis tab. If not, I can just find the results after. Yeah, I don't know. It might not be on there, but I know Los Angeles had a big vote drop as well here. So a lot of counties like that had results come in, and as we've seen in a lot of these areas, we've seen Tom Steyer gain on Steve Hilton in a lot of these places. The question is going to be ultimately, will it be enough? And we can even zoom in here because we can start at the base of support for Tom Steyer in San Francisco. This is where he's from. This is where he's going to do the best. And Steyer's now leading here by about 11 points over Javier Becerra at 25.18%. So Steyer gained some votes out of San Francisco here, very important. Alameda County is also another area that Steyer is doing very well, but he's actually gained some more votes here, now only trailing Becerra by about 2,000 votes or so out of this county. Hilton down at 15%. So those are very good numbers for Steyer there. Contra Costa is now at 87% in, so more votes out of there as well. Steyer picked up some votes at 24.89%. Hilton's in third at 22.34%. Santa Clara County and San Mateo as well. Steyer still holding strong in the low 20s there. Marin County now slightly in the advantage of Tom Steyer as well. So Steyer overall had a very good day in a lot of these counties, and obviously going about 40,000 votes in his direction against Steve Hilton. So good news for Steyer. The question is going to be over time, is there enough votes overall, though, to continue that trend and even expand on those margins? Because from what I was reading, if everything goes the way it did today, it would end up with Steyer losing approximately by about a point to Steve Hilton. So the question is going to be, in places with a lot of populations like San Diego, Orange County, and Los Angeles, is there enough vote out there where Steyer can even improve on these margins and take a significant amount of the vote away from Steve Hilton? That's kind of where things stand right now. Los Angeles, though, obviously going to be a big topic of the video today. Javier Becerra is at 30.16%. Steyer does make a little bit of a gain here at 23.87%. Hilton at 21.74%. So overall, a net lead now of about 33,000 votes for Tom Steyer in Los Angeles. But again, he's going to need a larger vote dump in his favor to make up that nearly 340,000 vote lead that Hilton has over Steyer statewide. In Orange County, this is one of the counties that came in today that was not very good news for Tom Steyer and likely shifted the odds in Hilton's favor. Hilton has 36.84%, Becerra's at 22.77%, Steyer's down at 16.43%. Overall, Hilton is leading over Steyer here by about, 126,000 votes. It's just Steyer's going to have a really hard time getting into second place if he's losing Orange County to Hilton by this much. He likely needs to cut that margin down and by a very considerable amount. Now, good news for him is in San Diego. Steyer did make some gains on Hilton in this area. Hilton's still leading 31.17%. Becerra's at 26.38%, and Steyer's at 19.9%, 127,000 votes. So he's still trailing by roughly about 70,000. Steyer is to Hilton, but he's making some gains in San Diego as well. So overall, you could say that Friday, in a nutshell, was a good day for Tom Steyer overall. He shrunk the margin from 400,000 to about 360,000 for Hilton over Steyer. The question will be ultimately, is all these votes add up? Because again, there's still 31% of the vote to come in statewide in California. These results will definitely shrink up. Hilton's not going to win by 6 points. If he does, it'll probably be like under 2 points. If there's enough votes left out there for Tom Steyer to ultimately come back. Now, obviously, just in the simplest terms, the race has not been called yet for Hilton. So there is enough vote per se for Steyer to come back and jump Hilton. But Steyer's going to need a lot of these vote dumps to be a lot more favorable for him. There were a few today, as I mentioned, in the San Francisco area, in Los Angeles, and even in San Diego that came in very strongly for him. The question is going to be, though, can he get those margins and can he get even stronger margins in the next vote dumps over the next few days? That's going to give him the opportunity to jump Steve Hilton. Because right now, based on what he got today, will be enough to make it close, but Hilton would still probably hold on and win by at least a point. But Steyer's going to need to improve in these margins to have a chance at actually getting into the top two. So that's where things stand in the governor's race heading into Saturday. As for the Los Angeles mayor's race, a very significant development in this one. We already know Karen Bass is the leading candidate as the incumbent mayor. She's advancing to the runoff. Spencer Pratt versus Nithya Raman for second place. And there was a very big vote dump today in favor of Nithya Raman in this race. I believe it was Pratt was around 29.9%, and Raman was around, I want to say, 21% to start the day, or even 22%. Now Spencer Pratt is leading 28.24% to 24.89%. Overall votes, it's about a 20,000 vote lead for Pratt over Raman, about 21,000 votes. I believe it was 36 or 39,000 votes on the live stream. I was going to go back and check the live stream for sure, but yeah, so it's gone down from about nearly 40,000 votes down to only about 21,000 votes in just one day. Only about a 4-point lead on the percentage-wise for Pratt over Raman. This race is becoming, as more and more votes come in and the vote by mail comes in, it's coming in very strong for Karen Bass and very strong for Nithya Raman. Democrats vote by mail in California more than Republicans do by a large margin. In the vote dump today, Nithya Raman, I believe, was in first place. Karen Bass was in second place, and Spencer Pratt was in a very, very distant third. So if things continue on these same margins, and if they don't even have to exceed, if they continue on the same margins, it's looking very strong that Nithya Raman will overtake Spencer Pratt and end up being the second place finisher in the Los Angeles mayor's race for 2026. And this is one where I showed you the market odds on that one. They reflected that. Here, it absolutely reflects it as well. You could see right around roughly about 3 p.m., Nithya Raman passed over Spencer Pratt in the odds here. And as the results came out around, I want to say 6 p.m., around that same time period, Raman's at 17.9, Pratt's at 12.5. Things now much, much different, with Raman now favored at about 36% to advance, Spencer Pratt only at 3%. So clearly what the odds people are seeing in the results that have come in significantly benefits Nithya Raman, and definitely is not good news for Spencer Pratt, as we can even see probably in the last week or so how it's trended here. Raman is in a much stronger position than Spencer Pratt right now due to the fact that these late vote by mail ballots, Tom Steyer, it's going to be 50-50 as whether he's able to get there if he falls just about a point short. Nithya Raman, with the deficit she has of about 20,000 votes, I would say it's more similar to when Javier Becerra was trailing Steve Hilton. More votes came in and he was able to overtake Hilton. I would say it's similar in this race when Nithya Raman is about 20,000 votes shy of Spencer Pratt. I would bet either the next vote dump in LA, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, or even by Monday, probably at the latest, we're probably going to see Nithya Raman overtake Spencer Pratt. And I wouldn't be shocked once that happens that we get a call in the race that'll end up being Bass and Raman in the general election. It's just what happened today where the votes came in strongly for Bass and Raman. Pratt just can't have that if he's going to advance into the general. There's just too many late mail-in ballots that have coming in that are more Democratic-friendly than Republican-friendly, and Pratt is just getting trounced in those that do come in. So we're keeping an eye on this race as well, but as time goes on, it's like more and more likely a Bass versus Raman general election is where things are probably going to shape up. Whereas the governor's race, again, currently too close to call between Hilton and Steyer. Steyer had a good day. He expanded on his margins, now up to 21.05%. Hilton still in second place at 26.35%. So still an uphill climb for Tom Steyer. It is, I mean this in the strongest terms, mathematically possible for Tom Steyer to get into the top two. It's definitely, he's not out of the race, but he needs to have he had a good day today. He has to have a better day tomorrow. Make no mistake, Hilton is in second place. Steyer is the underdog in this race. I think Becerra versus Hilton is still the likeliest outcome right now. But Tom Steyer, if he has a very good day tomorrow, it's not impossible that he could get to second place when everything is said and done. But I think Hilton right now has a better chance of being the second place candidate in the general election than Tom Steyer does. But again, we'll have to wait and see once all those votes are ultimately cast. So I wanted to give you a quick update on that today. Based on how yesterday went, this video is coming out 3 p.m. Eastern time on the East Coast. We're probably going to start seeing more vote dumps out of California somewhere between 6 and like 8 p.m. Eastern time is when a lot of them seem to drop on X on Twitter. So roughly 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're probably going to start getting more vote dumps, and then that'll give us a good indicator of how things are looking. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider hitting like and subscribe if you did to stay updated both on these election results. On Tuesday, we have election results coming up that are very interesting out of the state of Maine. That's Graham Plattner. That's the Maine governor's race. And we have also the governor's race out of South Carolina. That should be very competitive as well. So I hope you'll consider subscribing and hitting like on the video as well. Also, check out the live streams I did on this race that happened on Tuesday election night and the live stream I did yesterday as well. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in a future video.